Welcome back to Decode the Plot, where we unravel the worlds that break our hearts, melt our souls, and keep us awake at 3 turning pages like our life depends on it. Today, we dive into Onyx Storm, the explosive sequel in the Empyrean series, where love is a battlefield, betrayal is inevitable, and dragons remain the deadliest, sassiest creatures to ever grace fantasy literature. Strap in. Breathe deep. This is going to be fast. This is going to be intense. And trust me, no one survives Onyx Storm unchanged. Let's begin. The story snaps open with Violet Sorrengail, our fragile but deadly, brilliant, scribe-like turned dragon rider heroine, standing on the edge of a war-torn future she never asked for. Basgiath is behind her, secrets have exploded, loyalties have scattered, and the truth no one wanted to believe now burns across Navarre like wildfire. Venin exist, Wyvern exist, and the enemy is not only real, they're coming. But Violet's world? It's already cracked down the center, because Xaden Riorson, the man she loves so fiercely it terrifies her, has been hiding a truth deeper, darker, and more dangerous than all the Venin combined. He's marked, transformed, changed by shadows that shouldn't be alive, and Violet, she's furious, devastated, heartbroken, but she can't look away, not from him, not from what he's become. The tension between them, it's a living thing. A storm of heat and betrayal wrapped tightly around two people who want each other more than they can breathe. But there's no time to untangle that mess yet, because the world is shifting beneath their feet. We pick up in the fallout of Basgiath's collapse, where truths came loose, lies snapped like brittle bones, and Violet learned that the kingdom she swore to protect has been feeding its children to the slaughter. Navarre isn't defending the borders. Navarre is pretending there is no war. And Violet, she's done being a pawn, she's done being quiet. She's done letting anyone decide her fate, not her mother, not the leadership, not the kingdom. But here, the problem. What you do with the truth matters even more than discovering it. And right now, Violet, Xaden, their dragons Tarn and Esquiel, and the entire Misfit squad who survived the gauntlet of lies, they need somewhere safe to figure out their next move. Enter the Outpost, a rebel stronghold, hidden, dangerous, a makeshift refuge built on secrets, alliances, and the fragile understanding that survival comes first and justice maybe later. The emotional battlefield between Violet and Xaden in Onyx Storm? Oh, buckle up. It's not soft, it's not gentle, it's raw. Violet demands the truth. Xaden tries to protect her from it. Violet wants answers. Xaden wants to survive the consequences. They're dragons, they're absolutely done with the tension. Tarn growls, Esquiel hisses, and somewhere in that telepathic dragon banter is the emotional equivalent of fix your relationship, you ridiculous emotional disasters. But the founding fact remains, Xaden is different now. Not human in the way he once was. Not Venin, not Wyvern, not something easily named. And Violet is terrified she's losing him to the very darkness he once swore to fight. But guess what? This girl doesn't break, she reforges. And she starts training harder, sharper, faster. Because if the world is ending, she'll be the storm that answers it. Now, while Violet is busy trying not to stab Xaden in the chest, or kiss him until oxygen becomes optional, the political map of the continent is tearing at its seams. The kingdoms are choosing sides, the alliances are strained. The rebels are preparing for a battle no one else believes is real. And Navarre continues pretending everything is fine. Classic, but here, the turning point. The leadership wants Violet back. Why? Not because they love her, not because she's special, but because she's dangerous to lose and lethal to keep away. She holds knowledge, power, truth, and truths topple empires. So suddenly the chase is on, navigating ambushes, political traps, old grudges, hidden battlegrounds, and a kingdom eager to silence anyone who threatens the facade. And at the center of it all, Violet. The unexpected blade cutting through generations of lies. This portion of the book hits like a punch. We go deep into new magic, evolving powers, and the terrifying learning curve of bonding with dragons who do not tolerate weakness. Violet trains until her bones ache. Her signet grows sharper, deadlier. She learns to manipulate lightning in ways the world has never seen and ways that terrify even her. Xaden, his shadows have changed, mutated. They're powerful but unpredictable, slipping out of his control like living creatures hungry for a purpose he can't yet define. The question no one wants to ask, is Xaden becoming something too dangerous to love? Violet fears it. Xaden denies it. The dragons refuse to answer. And the tension coils tighter and tighter. Halfway through their regrouping, we uncover the layers behind Navarre's corruption. Generations of cover-ups, leaders who abandon their oaths. A kingdom built on lies, sealed with blood, maintained through fear. Every chapter peels another layer. Every reveal hits harder than the last. And Violet, watching everything she once believed crumble in her hands, slowly transforms from the girl who wanted to survive Basgiath into the woman who intends to save the world. No matter what it costs her, no matter who she must become. Finally, we get what Violet demanded, the full truth about what changed Xaden. The shadows, the bond, the evolution of power. The night everything went wrong and reshaped him into something the world has no name for. And it's devastating. Not because he lied, not because he changed, but because he never believed Violet could love him through it. And Violet. She breaks, she shatters, because she realizes he wasn't protecting himself from her, he was protecting her from him. This moment, major turning point, emotionally explosive. Dragons rumbling in the background like giant guardians of broken hearts. But reconciliation isn't magic. Love doesn't instantly fix the battlefield. They still have a war to win, and their relationship is hanging by a thread woven of shadow and lightning. But this is Violet and Xaden. If they burn together. The moment Violet regains her footing in the rebel outpost, the world starts shifting again. Because war waits for no one, especially not lightning-wielding dragon riders who barely survived a kingdom's betrayal. The rebels gather, leaders argue, dragons circle overhead like omens of what's coming. And Violet, she listens, learns, calculates. Because here's the thing about Violet Sorrengail, she doesn't just fight battles, she understands them. And right now, the biggest threat isn't the venom, it's the fractured political landscape of the continent. They need allies, they need armies, they need truth to spread faster than lies, and that means moving, flying, negotiating. Explaining the impossible to people who'd rather believe comforting lies than dangerous truths. So the squad heads out, across borders, across cultures, across territories that have every reason to distrust Navarre and its riders. Their goal, convince entire nations that the world is ending. No pressure. This journey is not a travel montage. It is a gauntlet. Wild storms that nearly throw riders from the sky. Venom ambushes disguised as wandering travelers. Wyvern attacks sweeping down like nightmares with wings. Old rebel enemies resurfacing demanding accountability from Xaden, because not everyone forgives the old families. And through every obstacle, Violet is grappling with something worse. Her heart still breaks every time she looks at Xaden. The man she loves is changing, not emotionally, not mentally, physically, magically. His shadows curl around him like living smoke, sometimes protective, sometimes restless, sometimes hungry. And Violet sees fear in his eyes for the first time. Not fear of enemies, not fear of death, fear of himself. But love, in their world, does not bow to fear. Still, the tension between them is a knife they keep twisting without meaning to. 1 minute, they're fighting. The next, they're protecting each other so fiercely it hurts to watch. The next, they're avoiding eye contact like strangers. And their dragons? Oh, the dragons are fed UP. Tarn, stop being idiots. Esquiel. Fix it or I will throw you both off my back myself. These giant, terrifying, ancient beasts are basically acting as relationship counselors now. While traveling, Violet's training intensifies. She practices lightning manipulation until her hands shake. She trains mid-air combat against wyvern decoys conjured from shadows. She fights Xaden? Yes, fights him, because sparring is safer than saying the things they're both avoiding. And Tarn, he pushes her mercilessly, because the truth is, Violet is becoming one of the strongest riders alive, but she doesn't believe it yet. She still sees the fragile bones, the childhood of pain, the weakness everyone once mocked her for. Tarn doesn't care, dragons don't care, lightning doesn't care, power respects will, and Violet's will is becoming a weapon. Meanwhile, Xaden trains too, but differently. His shadows keep evolving, developing instincts he cannot predict or control. During one session, they lash out so violently that even Esquiel reacts with shock, and Xaden pulls back, terrified he might hurt Violet, which hurts her even more, because she'd rather face 1,000 venom than see him flinch away from her. Their relationship becomes a slow, painful dance, two forces drawn together by gravity, pushed apart by fear. Then it happens. A warning roar splits the sky. Tarn dives. Esquiel screams telepathically through every dragon within miles. A city's ward, one of the oldest, strongest, most vital protections on the continent, collapses. And the venom flood in like a tidal wave. Violet and the riders arrive too late to stop the breach, but not too late to fight. The sky becomes a living nightmare. Dragons spewing fire so hot it melts stone. Wyvern diving with venom dripping from their jaws. Riders weaving through the air like a deadly dance. Violet calling lightning so bright it blinds enemies mid-flight. And Xaden fights like a man possessed. Shadows ripple across the battlefield. Black tendrils slash through wyvern wings. Explosions of pure darkness swallow entire squads of venom. But with every move, every burst of power, every desperate act, he looks less human. Less Xaden, more something else, and Violet sees it, and it terrifies her in a way war never could. The battle ends in devastation. The city is half rubble, the dead are everywhere. And Violet collapses beside Xaden, exhausted, trembling, terrified of what they've just witnessed, not the venom, him. Word spreads fast. Xaden Riorsan's power is no longer a rumor. It's a spectacle, a threat, a political weapon. Some leaders want him imprisoned. Some want him killed. Some want to use him. Some want to study him like a monster. And Violet stands between Xaden and the world like she's willing to burn down kingdoms. She refuses to let them touch him. She refuses to let them treat him as anything less than the man who has saved countless lives. But privately, alone, in the quiet moments between battles, she's scared. Because Xaden is losing control. The shadows whisper, pulse, hunger, and he doesn't tell her everything. He still hides pieces, still protects her from truths he thinks she can't handle. But Violet Sorrengail is done being protected. So she follows him, confronts him, demands everything, and what she learns breaks her. In a storm-soaked night, surrounded by the echo of distant wyvern cries, Xaden finally tells her the full truth. The night he changed, the magic he absorbed, the shadows that fused with his soul, the moment he realized he was no longer just a rider, but something new, a hybrid of power, a weapon created by accident, a danger to everyone he loves. He tells her he hid it because he knew the world would hunt him. He hid it because he didn't want her to look at him with fear. He hid it because he would rather die than hurt her. Violet breaks, completely. Not because he changed, but because he ever believed she would stop loving him. She steps toward him, he steps back. She steps again, he trembles, and Taryn rumbles through her mind. He is yours, claim him or lose him. So she does. Lightning meets shadow, fear meets love, pain meets truth. And for the first time since Basgiath, they find each other again, not fixed, not perfect, but real. The aftermath of that confession reshapes everything. Now Violet and Xaden work as a unit again, but the world around them fractures even further. Some nations agree to fight, some manipulate the chaos for power, some cut deals with forces they don't understand. And worse, the Venin begin coordinating attacks. They're smarter, faster, more organized, which means one thing, someone somewhere is controlling them. A whisper becomes a rumor becomes a theory, and a theory becomes the terrifying truth. There is a Venin High Commander, and he is building an army big enough to wipe out the entire continent. Violet, Xaden, the rebels, the riders, they're running out of time. The storm begins quietly, always quietly. Because real danger, real change, never starts with thunder. It starts with a whisper. And now Violet Sorrengail, battle-scarred, lightning-touched, bonded to 2 dragons, and still recovering from truths that cracked her world open, is about to step into the most dangerous phase of her life. Not the war, not the rebellion, not even Xaden's shadows, but the truth of what she actually is. A weapon, a threat, a storm waiting to break. Violet wakes into a world where every truth she thought she understood now feels fragile. The rebellion she believed in, not spotless. Navarre, the enemy she grew up hating, not entirely wrong. And Xaden, the man she loves, is hiding something so explosive it could burn everything she's trying to save. But Violet is done being kept in the dark. She walks through the fortress with a new kind of energy, controlled, coiled, dangerous. And every rider, scribe, and soldier feels it. Because Violet isn't the same girl who fought to survive Basgiath. She's evolving, becoming storm and strategy, heart and weapon, and everyone feels it. Xaden doesn't sleep, at least not well. Every time he closes his eyes, the shadows pulse through him like something alive, something hungry, something wrong. In the dim light of their room, Violet watches him, shoulders tense, jaw tight. A man trying to control a power that refuses to be controlled. He tells her he's fine, but the shadows slipping out of him like ink disagree. She knows something is changing in him, a shift that isn't just power, it's corruption. And it scares her, not because she fears him, but because she's terrified she'll lose him. At the strategy hall, the room erupts. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone thinks they know what to do next, but Violet sees the cracks. The leadership isn't aligned, not even close. Some riders want to strengthen the rebellion. Others want to negotiate with Navarre. Some want to annihilate anyone connected to Venin. And then there's Violet, who sees 2 wars forming. One against the Venin, and one inside their own damn camp. So she steps into the argument, voice steady, spine straight, and says what no one wants to hear. If we don't stop fighting each other, we're already dead. Silence, heavy, sharp. And for the first time, they listen. Outside, the sky churns. Taryn's golden eyes fix on her, unreadable and ancient. Storms don't just happen, violence, he rumbles. They build, and from the shadows, Andarna's softer voice layers over his. Something is coming, something older than war. Violet's heart kicks. Dragons don't fear easily, but both of hers are bracing for something massive, something tied to her. And tied to Xaden. At the archives, the forbidden part, the dusty part, the part even librarians pretend doesn't exist, Violet digs up a truth she wasn't meant to find. A truth about power. A truth about her own lightning. It's not random. It's not luck. It's not a gift. It's a consequence. The Rider's Quadrant has been tampering with the bond between Rider and Dragon, pushing limits, manipulating power. And Violet might be the result, not chosen, created. A weapon engineered by a system that never cared whether she survived the making of it. When she realizes this, it hits her chest like a fist. All her life she thought she was weak. Fragile. The girl who wasn't supposed to be a rider. Turns out she was never meant to be safe. She was meant to be unstoppable. She finds Xaden training alone. Shadow dripping off him in violent waves, breath uneven. Controlled only by sheer will, she tells him what she found. He freezes. That's when she realizes he already knew. Violet is lightning, he is shadow. But secrets? Secrets are the one thing that can break them. The argument that follows is brutal, because love without trust is just longing in disguise. And Violet refuses to be someone's fragile half-truth again. She storms out, furious and hurt, while Xaden stands there, shadows clawing at him, looking like a man losing the most important battle of his life. That night the alarm sounds. The sky glows red, dragons roar, ground trembles. The Venin are here, not scouts, not a small strike team, an army, the kind meant to break defenses, the kind meant to send a message. Violet and Xaden lock eyes across the chaos, their fight forgotten instantly. Because when death arrives, love becomes simple. Run toward each other or die apart. The fight is carnage. Violet channels lightning until her arms ache, until her throat burns, until the world blurs into flashes of white-blue rage. Xaden's shadows tear through enemy ranks, but they're changing, growing more violent, more unpredictable, more conscious. At one moment, the shadows turn on him. That's when Violet realizes Xaden isn't wielding his power anymore. His power is wielding him. She throws herself into the storm, lightning versus shadow, and drags him back before the darkness consumes him. Dragons scream overhead. Fire, smoke, stone, the world cracking open. The battle ends, but not with victory, with survival. Barely. Xaden collapses into her arms, eyes glowing faintly red. Violet's heart stops. Because that color, that red, is not normal. Not Rider, not human, not safe. He whispers her name, her real name, not the teasing versions, and in that broken voice, she hears the truth he's been hiding. He's changing. And whatever he's becoming, he doesn't know how much longer he can fight it. Violet holds him like she can anchor him back to himself. But even she knows, some storms can't be stopped, only survived. The leadership demands one thing. Xaden must be controlled, watched, restricted, but Violet, she chooses differently. He's not a threat, he's the reason we're alive. She stands between Xaden and the people who fear him, and for the first time, she plays the political game she always avoided. Protecting him means betraying rules, risking her position, risking her life. But Violet Sorrengail isn't the girl who obeys anymore. She's the girl who rewrites the damn rules. And as the camp settles into a wounded, uneasy quiet, one truth settles over Violet like a final, suffocating shadow. The storm isn't coming. It's already here. And she is at the center of it. Power changes people. War changes people. But love changes everything. And in this part of the storm, Violet must choose between saving the world or saving the man she loves. Because Xaden Riorson is slipping, not slowly, not quietly, but like a star collapsing under its own gravity. And Violet, she's the only one who can pull him back before he becomes the very monster they're fighting. The moment the battle ends, Xaden's symptoms intensify. Not subtle, not hidden. His shadows pulse like living things, writhing, hissing, reacting to every emotion he tries to swallow. He can't control them anymore. And his eyes, red. A deadly, impossible red. That color terrifies Violet more than any Venin ever could. Because that color means corruption. It means power gone wrong. It means transformation, not into death, but into something else. Something they don't have a name for, and it's happening faster than he can stop. Tarn arrives first, massive, ancient, radiating pure force. His voice booms inside Violet's mind. Violence, what you fear, is not corruption. It is transformation. Then Andarna, soft but piercing, something new is happening, something unseen before. The dragons circle Xaden, examining him, not with fear, but with awe. That's when Tarn explains. The bond between Violet and Xaden, the unusual dual dragons, the shared storms and shadows, it's not coincidence. It's evolution, a new form of magic, a new kind of rider. Something nature is creating to fight the rising threat of Venin. Xaden isn't dying, he's changing, becoming something more powerful than any rider before him. But transitions like this, they come with side effects, and some don't survive them. As Xaden sleeps, shadows flickering around him like restless serpents, Violet sits beside him, eyes burning. She's never been helpless, never allowed herself to shake, never allowed fear to own her. But that changes tonight. She brushes her fingers along his hair, tracing the man she refuses to lose. He once promised he'd burn the world for her. Now it's her turn. She vows, not quietly, not softly, but with lightning humming in her veins, I will save you. Even if I have to rewrite the rules of magic to do it. Violet returns to the archives, the dangerous section, the banned section, the part where history hides its sins. She finds texts older than Navarre itself, older than Venin, older than dragons. She learns the truth. The first Venin were not villains. They were people who tried to control too much power. People who transformed and didn't survive the transformation with their minds intact. Xaden is standing at that crossroads. He could evolve into a higher form of power or shatter into something monstrous. Violet must guide him through the transition or lose him to the darkness. She tells Xaden what she learned. He wants to refuse. He wants to protect her. He wants to run from himself. But Violet pushes him harder than anyone ever has. You're not allowed to give up, not on yourself, not on us. Their training begins, violent, intimate, terrifying. Lightning meets shadow. Power meets power. While dragons watch from above, guarding, guiding, ready to intervene if the shadows consume him. They train until dawn and again until dusk. Until Xaden learns to ride the shadows instead of drowning in them. until Violet learns the truth, their powers are merging. Whenever she touches him, his shadows stabilize. Whenever he touches her, her lightning sharpens. Together, they are stronger. Together, they are designed to survive. Just when they start to win, the Venons strike again. But this time, it's not an attack, it's a trap. A massive, pulsing, ancient barrier drops around the fortress, cutting off dragons, cutting off escape, turning the entire base into a killing cage. Violet runs toward the center of the chaos, lightning crackling, hair whipping in the wind, while Xaden's shadows swirl behind her like a living storm. This battle is different. Smarter, darker, targeted. Because the Venom aren't here for the fortress. They're here for her, and for him. In the heart of the fortress, Violet and Xaden stand back to back, storm and shadow, as Venom close in from every direction. Violet calls lightning so powerful it cracks the sky open like glass. Xaden unleashes shadows so massive they move like tidal waves. Dragons roar, stone shatters, the ground burns. But even together, they can't hold forever. And when a Venom general steps forward, eyes glowing, power ancient, Violet finally understands. This isn't a battle. It's a message, a warning, a promise. The real war has only begun. As the fortress trembles and the sky burns, Violet realizes the truth she's been running from. The storm won't end. The storm won't break, because she is the storm, and Xaden is the darkness beside her. And together, they are the only thing standing between the world and destruction. War doesn't pause, storms don't wait, and love, real love, doesn't get to breathe in times like these. Part 5 begins in a world cracking at the seams. Venom closing in, leaders divided, dragons restless, and Xaden, the man Violet loves, standing dangerously close to a transformation no rider has ever survived. The border is bleeding, magic is thinning. And Violet must make a choice she never thought she'd face: save the world, or save him. Smoke drifts like ghosts over the battlefield. Violet stands on shattered stone, her breath fogging in the cold morning air. The fortress is ruined. Riders injured, dragons exhausted. But Violet, she's not thinking about the losses. She's watching Xaden. He's standing at the edge of the courtyard, shadows curling around him like serpents that haven't decided whether to protect or devour him. He looks like he's barely in control, barely himself. Violet feels her pulse in her throat. Because she can see it happening, the shadows are consuming him. And this time, not even her lightning calms them. At the war table, voices clash like weapons. Everyone agrees on one thing: the Venom are preparing for a massive strike. A kind that will wipe entire regions off the map if they don't act first. But to stop them, they need access to a location no one has entered in decades: the Obsidian Fold. A place where shadow and lightning were once forbidden to even be spoken of. Violet studies the map, her brain racing. The Obsidian Fold is where the earliest records describe magic born out of chaos, riders torn apart by energies they couldn't control. Exactly the place Xaden shouldn't go. Exactly the place they must go. Because the answers to his transformation and how to stop the Venom are buried there. Xaden steps forward. If the Fold kills me, it kills me. We don't have a choice. Violet's jaw clenches. You don't get to die, not for this. Not for anyone. He smiles, that slow, heartbreaking smile of a man who's already accepted his fate. They ride long into the night. Terran's wings slice through violent winds. Andarna glows faintly gold, her presence both soothing and eerie. The sky above the Fold is wrong, too still, too dark, too empty. Like even the stars refuse to watch what's happening below. When they land, the ground hums under Violet's boots. The entire landscape feels alive. Breathing, listening. Violet squeezes Xaden's hand. His fingers tremble, not from fear, from the shadows under his skin shifting like restless beasts. Inside the ancient ruins, Violet finds stone tablets so old they crumble at her touch. But one symbol repeats over and over: storm, shadow, union. A pairing that was prophesied, feared, and erased from history. A pairing exactly like hers and Xaden. She reads the ancient inscription aloud. Only together can they withstand the surge. Alone, they are consumed. Violet's breath slips out in a shudder. It hits her like a blow. Xaden isn't losing control because he's becoming something evil. He's losing control because he's alone in the transformation. He needs her lightning, her storm, to stabilize the shadows. This is not corruption. It's evolution that requires both of them to survive it. She turns to him. His eyes glow red, fully, terrifyingly red. He whispers, voice shaking, "It hurts, Vi, it hurts so much." And that's when she realizes he's out of time. The ground cracks, magic erupts. Shadows explode around Xaden, lifting him off the ground, dark smoke spiraling around his body. He screams not in fear, but in the agony of power ripping him apart. Violet runs into the storm, lightning crackling from her fingertips, hair snapping wildly around her. Terran roars, Andarna shrieks. The entire Fold shakes. She reaches him, grabs his face, and lets lightning surge from her body into his. Their powers collide, storm meeting shadow, exploding in blinding white fire. The world shakes, stone shatters, magic rips open like a wound. For a moment, Violet thinks she's killed them both. Then, silence. A silence so deep it feels like the universe is holding its breath. Xaden collapses into her arms, not unconscious, not broken, changed. His shadow magic no longer writhes uncontrollably. It moves smoothly, purposefully, responding to his will. His eyes, once red, shift to a dark, shimmering violet mirroring hers. His voice is steady. Vi, I can hear your lightning. Not metaphorically, literally. Their magic has synced, merged. Bonded, he is something new, something ancient made modern, a rider with stabilized shadow power anchored by the storm that lives in Violet. They are no longer two separate forces. They are one. A storm forged in darkness. A shadow forged in lightning. A weapon the world has never seen. The ground trembles. Air thickens. Magic warps. A Venom general materializes, tall, skeletal eyes blazing with unnatural fire. He looks at Violet and Xaden the way a scientist looks at a dangerous discovery. So, the prophecy survives. Storm and shadow reborn. Violet steps in front of Xaden, lightning building behind her eyes. Xaden steps beside her, shadow rolling off him like smoke. Together, they are terrifying. The Venom general smiles, a slow, cruel, knowing smile. We've been waiting for you, both of you. The sky cracks open in a scream of magic. And part 5 ends with the storm ready to explode. Prophecies only matter when the people inside them start breathing. And now, with Violet's lightning fused to Xaden's shadows, their magic humming in perfect, terrifying harmony, they've become a story older than Navarre, older than dragons, older than the war itself. A story the Venom have been waiting centuries to end. Part 6 begins with the world trembling as the Venom general steps forward. The general's presence distorts the air, warping the light, pulling heat from the world. He speaks as if he already knows the ending. Storm and shadow, nature's last defense and nature's greatest mistake. Violet's fists spark with electricity. Xaden's shadows curl in warning. The general raises a hand, and every Venom behind him freezes. A gesture of peace, or a trap dressed as one. He looks directly at Xaden. You, boy, you stand on our threshold. More Venom than rider now. You could join us. Become what you were meant to be. Xaden steps forward, voice steady. I'm not yours, I'll never be yours. The general smiles, cruel and patient. Not yet. His gaze slides to Violet, but you will lose him. Storm always burns shadow in the end. Violet's lightning explodes from her palm. Try me. The ground splits. The battle erupts. The fight is unlike anything the world has seen. Violet calls lightning with such force, it lights the entire fold in blinding white fire. Xaden's shadows surge forward, flowing with the precision of a trained army. Together, they move like two halves of a single force, storm splitting the sky, shadow devouring the ground. But the Venom general is ancient, experienced, evolved. He absorbs lightning like breath. He slices through shadow like silk. Xaden's control falters. Violet pushes more power into him, trying to stabilize the shadows. But instead, something else happens. Their magic merges, not just stabilizing, but expanding. A pulse of combined energy blasts the battlefield. Venom crumble to dust. Stone cracks. Trees howl in the shockwave. Tarn roars. Violence. You must learn to control it, but Violet can't. The power is too big, too wild, too alive. And for a terrifying moment, she feels herself slipping, losing control to the storm raging inside her. Lightning erupts from Violet's skin, dangerously close to overloading. Her vision turns white, her ears ring, her body trembles. She feels herself unraveling. Claws of panic dig into her chest. Then, hands, Xaden's hands. Warm and steady on her cheeks, pulling her back to reality. His voice cuts through the chaos. Vi, come back, look at me. She focuses on him, his eyes, his voice, his shadows wrapping around her like a protective barrier. Their magic sinks. Stabilizes, balances. Xaden whispers, breathless, we do this together, always. Her lightning quiets, her vision clears. The storm bows to her again, and she realizes Xaden isn't her weakness, he's her anchor. The Venom general, battered but not broken, stares at them with a new kind of hunger. You've awakened it. You don't even understand what you've done, but you will. He steps backward, into a rift of swirling red-black magic. Before vanishing, he says, when the obsidian heart opens, you'll face what you truly are, and you will break. The rift slams shut. Silence drops like a blade. Violet's heart pounds. Obsidian heart, a place, a power, a warning. And the fact that the general fled means something far worse is coming. In the aftermath, Violet collapses onto the stone, chest heaving, hands trembling from magical backlash. Xaden crouches in front of her, touching her forehead. Tell me you're okay, please, Violet. She nods, though her body feels like a live wire ready to snap. Then something on the ground catches her eye. A stone tablet, half shattered, revealing a symbol beneath, a storm, a shadow. A heart of obsidian, and beneath it, when bonded powers merge, a new force rises, one capable of ending magic itself. Violet's breath stops. Ending magic. Not the Venom, not riders. Magic, all of it. She looks at Xaden, horrified. If we lose control, we won't just destroy the enemy, we'll destroy everything. His face pales, because he knows she's right. They aren't just nature's last defense, they are nature's last gamble. A weapon capable of salvation or annihilation. Night falls over the fold. Violet and Xaden sit together on a cliff edge, dragons resting behind them, the world unnervingly quiet. Xaden finally breaks the silence. If we're that dangerous, maybe we shouldn't be together. Violet's reaction is instant. Don't even say it. He looks tortured. If being with me puts the entire world at risk, then we learn control. We learn balance. We don't run. She grabs his shirt, pulls him close. I will not lose you to fear. I will not lose us. His forehead touches hers. You could lose everything if you stay with me. Her voice cracks. I've already chosen you. Long before the world fell apart. For a moment, the storm inside them softens, and they breathe as one. A distant rumble shakes the ground. The dragons snap awake. Violet stands, lightning gathering in her palms. Xaden rises beside her, shadows sharpening. The sky glows blood red on the horizon. The Venin aren't waiting. They're coming, in force. And the Obsidian heart, whatever it is waking. Violet exhales, steady and fierce. Let them come. We're ready, she believes it. She has to, because the only thing more dangerous than the storm outside is the storm she's becoming. The night after the interrogation room disaster, nothing is calm in Basgiath. Violence simmers beneath the surface. Loyalties crack like thin ice, and every secret feels like a blade waiting to be drawn. And right in the center of it all, Violet. She barely sleeps, because when she closes her eyes, she sees Xaden. Not just the man she loves, but the man hiding a storm bigger than she ever imagined. Riorson House is quiet when Violet walks through the courtyard, but air itself feels strange. Like something is pulling the shadows tighter. Like power is gathering but refusing to show its face. And she sees it, servants whispering, wing leaders exchanging tense looks, marked ones stopping mid-conversation when they notice her passing. They're nervous. Something big is coming, and Violet can feel it in her bones. She walks into the strategy chamber, commanders, squad leaders, advisors, all circling around a map like vultures over a carcass. We're losing borders. We lost another outpost. They're multiplying, the words hit her like arrows. The Venin attacks aren't slowing down, they're accelerating. And worst of all, their target is becoming obvious, Basgiath. The heart of dragon riders, the place that was supposed to be untouchable. Except now, nothing is untouchable. Violet stands back, observing, studying, trying to piece everything together like the puzzle is carved into smoke. And then her heart freezes. A courier rushes in with a sealed dispatch, a dispatch from Poromil, a dispatch with Xaden's sigil tied around it. Every head in the room turns toward her. Every pair of eyes holds the same suspicion. She opens it, and the letter is devastating. Because it's not just a message, it's a warning, a desperate one. A Venin commander is rising in the east, a creature stronger and more ancient than anything they've faced. He's not attacking randomly, he's not spreading chaos, he's marching for Violet. The entire world tilts for a moment. Why Violet? Why her specifically? And then it hits her like a sword straight to the ribs. Because she is the only one who can read the wards, the only one who can understand the ancient scripts, the only one who can expose how fragile their world really is. She is a threat, not to the Navarians, to the Venin. And the Venin never leave threats alive. Commanders begin arguing. We must tighten the borders. We must send reinforcements. We need the Griffin riders. No, we need to fortify Basgiath itself. The room collapses into chaos. And Violet does something she's never done before. She steps forward, slams her palm onto the table, and demands silence, because she sees something none of them want to accept. This isn't a war of numbers. This isn't a war of flame and steel. This is a war of ancient magic. Magic older than Navarre, older than the rebellion. Magic that everyone lied about, including the one person she loves more than her own life. Later, when she finds a moment alone, she traces the edge of Xaden's handwriting on that paper. Familiar, strong, unsteady in a way that only comes from fear. Xaden, the man who never breaks, never bends, never shows weakness, was afraid. Afraid for her, and afraid of what the Venin commander's rise means. Because the truth he's been hiding, the one Violet is starting to piece together, is bigger than both of them. Bigger than their love, bigger than Navarre, bigger than the rebellion. It's the kind of truth that could shatter the continent. Just as Violet begins forming a plan, just as she thinks she might have leverage, a rider bursts into the courtyard screaming. The wards, the eastern wards are failing, people pour out of buildings. Dragons roar, the ground shakes. Violet's stomach drops, because she knows what this means. The Venin commander is closer. Closer than everyone thought. Closer than anyone prepared for. And it's no longer a question of if they attack, it's a question of when. And the answer is now. The sky rips open like paper. Blood-red clouds roll across the horizon. Lightning dances unnaturally between them. The air vibrates with a terrible promise. The Venin have arrived. Violet stands on the cliff above Basgiath, heart hammering, hair whipping in the storm winds. Dragons circle overhead, uneasy, restless, sensing the danger before it lands. Beside her, Xaden's shadows coil and pulse, alive, responding to the imminent chaos. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. His eyes are locked on the horizon where Venin ranks move with a precision that is terrifying. Every rider, soldier, and dragon feels it. This is not a raid. This is a full-scale assault. The Venin descend like a tide of darkness. Huge, serpentine, black-scaled, eyes glowing crimson, claws tearing through earth, fangs dripping venom. their movement unnerving, organized, intelligent, almost human in coordination. Violet's fingers spark with lightning. Xaden's shadows pulse in response. Together, they are the center of the storm, a perfect fusion of lightning and darkness, waiting to unleash itself. The first wave hits. Dragons roar, venom screech, magic erupts. The clash is deafening. Stone crumbles, fire and shadow collide, lightning rips through the sky. For a brief moment, Violet realizes this is what she and Xaden were made for, to stand against the impossible, to survive where others would fall. Lightning leaps from Violet's hands, striking down venom warriors mid-flight. Xaden's shadows lash out, ripping creatures in half, swallowing them whole. Dragons dive into battle, talons tearing venom apart. It's chaos. Beautiful, horrifying chaos. But with every wave they fight off, another rises. And the venom general, the one who set all this in motion, watches from above, a dark silhouette in a storm-red sky. Calculating, waiting, smiling. Violet sees a rider, one of her closest allies, taken down. A venom strikes with a new weapon, a shadow-infused spear that ignores dragon scales and pierces even reinforced armor. Her heart stops. She screams. She rushes, calling lightning like she's pulling it from the sky itself. But the spear moves faster than thought, and the rider falls. Xaden grabs her mid-flight, shadows pulling them away from the carnage, but she knows the cost. The battle is only beginning, and no one will leave untouched. The venom general descends to the battlefield. Power radiates from him, bending reality, warping the air. Violet and Xaden recognize this immediately. He is not just powerful. He is ancient, a force older than any magic they've faced. He hurls a bolt of energy that splits the sky, a black lightning storm that clashes against Violet's storm like titans fighting. Xaden's shadows swirl, absorbing part of the strike, but the force is overwhelming. Even together, they are being tested to their absolute limits. Violet and Xaden realize something terrifying. This venom commander can adapt to their powers. Lightning and shadow alone won't win. They need strategy, coordination, risk. Violet calls out commands. Dragons obey, twisting, diving, shielding riders. Xaden uses his shadows to create barriers, deflecting the venom assault while Violet charges through the chaos, striking precise lightning into enemy ranks. The battlefield becomes a living thing, shadows, lightning, dragon fire, earth quaking. Every second stretches. Every breath feels like survival. As the fight reaches its peak, Violet senses something at her back. She spins and sees the obsidian heart, glowing faintly red in the distance. The venom general turns his gaze toward it and toward her. He laughs, a sound that shakes the air itself. You cannot stop what is coming. The heart awakens, and with it, everything dies. Violet grips Xaden's hand, his shadows coil tightly around her. Lightning dances along her arms. She exhales, steady, fierce. Then we'll face it together. And the battlefield explodes into a wave of fire, shadow, and lightning, the war having only just begun. The venom have arrived. The heart stirs. And Violet and Xaden stand at the very center of the coming apocalypse. The storm is no longer coming. The storm is them. The battlefield is chaos incarnate. Dragons scream, riders fall, lightning tears the sky open. Every strike Violet unleashes is answered by shadows that ripple with menace. Xaden's powers pulse uncontrollably, feeding and stabilizing her storm, but even together, they're only holding the line. And then, the ground shatters beneath them. The obsidian heart emerges, a massive, pulsating crystal of black-red energy, radiating magic older than the world itself. Its surface cracks, revealing veins of fire and shadow, and the air hums with a force that makes every rider stagger. It doesn't just exist, it watches, it consumes, it calls. Violet's pulse quickens. Xaden tightens his grip around her, shadows flaring to shield them. The obsidian heart is alive, and it's hungry. The venom general rises before it, arms wide, absorbing the heart's power. His form shifts, towering, almost unrecognizable, a living amalgamation of shadow, fire, and magic. He laughs, a low, echoing sound that shakes the air. At last, the storm comes to me. Face the power that will consume everything. Violet and Xaden exchange a glance, words aren't needed. Together, they move. Lightning arcs from Violet's hands, shadow wraps around Xaden's body, and they launch themselves into the maelstrom. Lightning strikes the venom general, but he absorbs it, twisting it into shadow-infused fury. Xaden hurls shadows that devour his attacks, but even his newfound control isn't enough. Violet realizes, raw power alone won't win. The obsidian heart amplifies him. They need a strategy. She shouts commands, weaving through the chaos. Dragons dive, shields rise, riders flank. Xaden mirrors her thoughts, manipulating shadows into barriers and weapons simultaneously. Every second stretches, every heartbeat screams danger, and the heart pulses faster, reacting to their magic. They are no longer just fighting the venom general, they are fighting the heart itself. Violet realizes what must be done. They cannot defeat the heart through offense alone. The storm must merge with the heart. Xaden must channel shadow into it, and she must anchor it with lightning. The danger? One wrong move, and they will both be consumed, their powers swallowed whole, their very lives extinguished in the heart's eternal hunger. She turns to Xaden, determination blazing. We end this together or not at all. His gaze locks with hers, calm and unflinching. Together, always. They step forward, moving into the beating crystal's epicenter. Lightning arcs from Violet's body into the heart, filling its veins with energy it has never known. Shadows coil around its surface, Xaden guiding them with precision. The heart roars, a sound that shakes the sky, the ground, and every soul on the battlefield. Magic explodes outward, tearing at earth and stone. Venom are obliterated. Dragons are hurled into flight. For a moment, everything goes white, then silence. When vision returns, Violet and Xaden stand together, hands clasped, breathing heavily. The Obsidian heart is gone. The Venom general is defeated, dissolved into shadow fragments. Around them, the battlefield is scarred but alive. Dragons roar triumphantly. Riders cheer, exhausted but victorious. Violet looks at Xaden, and he smiles, the shadows around him calm, no longer threatening but vibrant, alive, harmonious. They have survived. They have won. But the cost is clear. Magic itself has shifted. The world has changed. And so have they. Violet exhales, lightning humming faintly in her veins. Xaden places a hand on her shoulder, shadows flickering in sync with her heartbeat. The storm isn't over. The world is scarred. But together they are unstoppable. And as the sun rises over the battlefield, one truth is clear. Violet and Xaden are no longer just riders. They are the storm. They are the shadow. They are the future. The battlefield is quiet now. The air still hums faintly with the residual magic of the Obsidian heart. Smoke rises in thin, curling streams, and the smell of scorched earth lingers. Victory has a taste both sweet and bitter. Violet stands beside Xaden on the cliff overlooking Basgiath. Dragons circle above, wings spread wide, carrying the last of the riders home. The sun rises slowly over the horizon, painting the world in gold and crimson. They survived. The Venom threat is gone. The Obsidian heart is neutralized, but everything has changed. Violet flexes her fingers, feeling lightning pulse faintly, perfectly controlled. Xaden's shadows swirl calmly at his feet, now a living extension of himself, not a dangerous, unpredictable force. Together, they realize something profound. The world is still fragile, but they are stronger than it ever was. Not just riders, not just warriors, they are the guardians of a new era. The magic of storm and shadow is no longer chaotic, it is balanced. And with that balance comes responsibility. They will rebuild, they will protect, they will lead. Riders and citizens work tirelessly in the days following the battle. Dragons help clear debris, deliver supplies, and search for survivors. Violet coordinates relief efforts, using her magic to repair walls and stabilize structures. Xaden trains the riders, guiding them to master their powers, teaching control, precision, and unity. Their leadership is not just command, it is example. Hope is fragile, but it grows, strengthened by their courage. And everywhere, people whisper about the storm and shadow, about the riders who faced the Obsidian heart and survived, about the love that made them stronger. One evening, after the last shipments are delivered and dragons settle for the night, Violet and Xaden sit alone on the cliff where it all began. The wind plays through her hair. The shadows move gently around Xaden. He turns to her. "We changed the world." She nods, fingers entwined with his. "And we survived it, together." For the first time since the storm began, they allow themselves to breathe. To feel peace, not a false peace, but a hard-earned serenity. They smile, not just at survival, but at the promise of what comes next. The Obsidian heart may have been destroyed, but magic, the world, and the future remain alive. Violet and Xaden know this. Challenges will return, threats will rise, and storms, literal and metaphorical, will always follow. But they are no longer just participants. They are the storm. They are the shadow. They are the balance. And the world is ready for them. As the sun sets, lightning flickers softly across Violet's fingertips. Shadows dance along Xaden's arms. The storm and shadow are no longer forces of destruction. They are forces of protection. And together, they are unstoppable. Whatever comes, whatever rises, we face it together, always. The sky darkens briefly as if acknowledging them. Then peace returns, faint, fragile, but real. The storm has settled, for now. And that was Onyx Storm, a book that ripped the continent open, rewired our hearts, and proved that lightning and shadow are a deadly combination for anyone who stands in their way. This is Decode the Plot, and the storm is far from over.